Welcome back to another lesson on Shine On Me, and today we'll be covering a community budget game. First, as an introduction, what is a community budget? A community budget is the plan that shows how a town or city spends its money. Communities must decide on how to distribute limited funds across public services such as safety, education, or transportation and parks, which are all needed but must be organized to fully fund. Let's talk about the purpose of a community budget game before we start, though. The purpose of this game is to understand how budgeting works in real life. It also allows us to practice decision making with limited money, learn teamwork, negotiation, and respectful discussion, and lastly, recognize the difference between needs versus wants. I'll explain in depth how the game works now. First, we have step 1, giving students a budget. Each group should receive a fixed amount of community money. Next, step 2 is to show spending categories. This could be public safety, education, transportation, and more. Now for step 3, teams should decide funding. Groups should choose how much to spend in each category while staying within the total budget. This is essentially the most important part. For step 4, students can present and defend by explaining their choices and trade-offs. And lastly, step 5, reflect. Discuss the fairness, difficult choices, and how funding decisions affect their community and what they learned from this experience. I'll also cover the learning objectives that were thought about while designing this game. Firstly, it helps understand how communities allocate public money. This could be in the form of small communities, but also branch out to how large governments allocate their money as well. It also allows students to practice teamwork and discussion to reach a consensus about how their money will be spent. Next, it strengthens math and analytical thinking because they must directly divide and distribute a fixed budget. And lastly, they allow students to experience the challenge of making trade-offs and decisions because of limited money. An extension or advanced options that also are possible is unexpected event cards, such as sudden disasters or emergencies that are unavoidable but must be dealt with. There can also be revenue changes, such as more or less money being available out of the student's control. Next, there could be role-playing involved, such as some students acting as the mayor, parks director, or school leader. Now lastly, you can have a voting simulation for the final community budget in order to reach one final budget out of all the groups or students that made their own varieties. Supplementally, materials needed include category cards or posters, fake money or tokens, budget recording sheets, and an optional event cards for extensions. To summarize this whole game, the community budget game helps students learn how real communities function and why budgeting is challenging. It also allows them to know teamwork and thoughtful decision making and how this can build a stronger community when. Thank you for watching this lesson, and make sure to visit the blog for the worksheet and try out this game on your own as well. Stay tuned for more on Shine On Me.